Hello and welcome to Grilling with the Archbishop, because it's a lot less hot. It's more mild for me to get out. We're doing it in the morning too, so we can get out and not bake in the sun here. So I got my grill set up. Got it set up in two ways. First, I've got it set up so that I've got a hot side and a cool side. And I'll actually turn this down in a minute or two, a little bit more, so that it doesn't over toast everything. But I want to just talk a little bit about what I've discovered in terms of like taking care of your grill. First of all, we've all used this thing, right? We scrape it off. Problem is bristles. Sometimes bristles break off. People are worried about all that. So that's just that's a non-starter. But this is a really great product. It's called Grill Art, and you can buy it online. You can get everything. You can even get it at hardware stores. And it's got grooves on the side. So first you give it a little bit of a, once you got your grill nice and hot, give it a little bit of a cling on the side, and clean it off that way. And then you've got this thing, this like a sponge, which you soak in water. Turn off the heat. You soak in water, and you clean the grill after things up. It's just such a great job. And what you can do with this is you basically clean it in most of the stuff off in the sink, and you can actually throw it in the dishwasher by itself to clean it really well. So it's something that's really reusable, and it just does a great job on this. So I got the hot side and the cool side. So the first dish we're going to do today is bruschetta. In the United States we say bruschetta. I first encountered this when I was in Italy in the early 1990s. The Italians don't use preservatives with their breads. They're all like artisanal around wherever they live. They cook them in different ways. For example, around Tuscan and Florence, they don't use any salt for all kinds of historic reasons. But basically, they don't like to waste anything too. So they'll usually take day-old bread that's getting a little bit stale, and they'll use that, and they'll make a kind of toast that they call bruschetta. Now this is fresh today, so it might be a little bit harder for us to do what I need to do, but you just throw it on the grill. And bruschetta, this is bruschetta. Bruschetta is just the bread with a little bit of olive oil and salt. When you go to a restaurant and you order bruschetta, that's what you're going to get. I'm doing bruschetta con pomodoro with tomato. Fresh tomatoes from my garden, chopped them up. They're in the bowl. They got a little bit of salt, so I'm not going to any salt to the bread. But you got to watch it, and you're just toasting them a little bit. Let it go. Close that down for a minute. Wait a minute or two. You can often cook by smell. Like if you're baking and you walk into the kitchen, you can smell it. And you can usually tell when something's done by the way it smells. Now I'm smelling the toast and bread now. And I'm thinking it's just about time for us to take a look at it. And it is in really good shape. It's got nice and toasty. Look at that. Look at that. So when I was in Italy, this was often something you'd start off your meal with. You'd go into a restaurant, you'd say, you like bruschetta. And they'd say, and you sit down with friends and they bring out a whole platter like this. And they could serve, and you say bruschetta mista. They might have tomatoes on it, they might have anchovies, they might have olive paste, whatever. And sometimes they just would serve it plain and simple like this. But the thing was that it was always just something that was a nice little start to what you're doing. And it's so simple, because all you do is you take a clove of garlic now that your bread's been toasted and it's cooled down a little bit, and you just kind of lightly scrape, still a little hot, lightly scrape your bread with a clove of garlic. You don't have to scrape a lot. You just can scrape a little bit like this, just a little tiny bit. If you over scrape it, no one's going to close to you because of all the garlic smell that's going to be in your voice. It's just as simple as that. Then a little bit of olive oil, not a lot, and then just a little bit orange piece. This, by the way, this is really great American olive oil out of California. It's all just pure their trees. Kind of expensive. No tariffs. Then all you do is you take, now these are fresh tomatoes out of my garden right here. Just cut them up, add a little salt, not a lot, so that's why I didn't add any salt to the bread. And you just put it right on top. Kind of watch the juice a little bit. Look, that's nothing better than fresh tomatoes, right? Nothing better than fresh tomatoes. I remember one place we were there. You could literally, you were outside in the country, and the garden was right next to the restaurant. And so you could see that the stuff they were serving was right out of that. Nothing more, no basil, no nothing, no pepper, no nothing. People could put the pepper on if they want, but this is just simple food. That's the core of Italian food. It's just simple ingredients, simple food. Now, the next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna cook you up chicken, and it's chicken breasts. And you're gonna say, Archbishop Coyne, everybody can cook archbishop. We know how to cook chicken breast on the grill. Yeah, you do and you don't. You go to the supermarket and you buy the chicken breast perhaps already prepped, It's been in the barbecue sauce or in some kind of lemon chicken sauce forever. It's broken down, it's mushy because it's been there too long, and it just really doesn't have the flavor that you want. And when you get it on the grill and you throw it on the grill, and by the time you're done cooking it and it gets up to 140 degrees that you need, it's like a hockey puck. Now, the first thing you got to do is you prepare your marinade, which I'll tell about in a minute. But once you've had the chicken in the marinade for only about an hour doesn't make, any more than an hour doesn't matter. It's not going to make much difference. You take it out about 45 minutes before you're going to grill and put it out on the counter. Let it warm up. It's not going to go putrid. It's not going to go bacteria on you. It just warms up so that the interior of the chicken is already warmed up. So you're not throwing just like cold chicken on the grill and then you spend all your time trying to get it up to speed, up to temperature in the center. So I've done this simple recipe. It's called lemon garlic chicken. And it's just so simple. It's olive oil, 3 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of water, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, a teaspoon of sugar, and then a tablespoon of lemon, and 3 cloves of garlic. And that's the marinade right there. That's all you do. It's already got the oil in it, so we don't have to do anything. We don't have to prep the grill. The oil's in the marinade. Now, you don't want to just throw it on the grill. In other words, you don't want to just open up the bag and go, shoo. Now, like I said, this is the cool side. This is the hot side. And we're going to start out of the cool side to raise up the temperature of the piece of chicken gradually. As you put it on the grill, you know your chicken breasts, right? By the way, I butchered this myself because we had split chicken breasts on the bone in the freezer the other day, and I said, I'm going to cook these up. So take them out, give them a little shake. Look at all the garlic on that. That's only 3 cloves, folks. Now, when you put it on the grill, put it down with the thicker part towards the hotter part of the grill, and the thinner part towards the not so hot part of the grill. Okay? 4 chicken breasts is what this recipe calls for. 4 chicken breasts, about 4 to 5 ounces each, maybe 6 ounces. Some of these, that's the problem with this is when I was cutting them, some of them were a little bit bigger than others. But see how I've got the fatter part up there? Then just put the top down. 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, let's give it a check. Now these should be just barely getting white because they're on a really cool side. They've been on about 3 or 4 minutes now. So what I'm gonna do is check them. Look at the bottoms, and they got a few grill marks. So I usually just rotate them a little bit so you get that kind of cross hatching on the grill. I should get longer tongs, by the way, so I don't burn my knuckles, but I'm offering it up. My mother used to say, offer it up. When we were complaining, my father used to say, tell your story walking. So now we're gonna flip them over. I mean, look at the juice on these things, on these pieces of chicken. I'm gonna start the back, because I'm gonna flip them, I'm gonna rotate them a little bit, because this tends to be a little bit hotter at the back on this grill. Look at that, it's already pretty much cooked on that side, but not overly done so, right? So this is the first 3 minutes on this side. Maybe even a little bit shorter because these are thin, they're smaller. I told you that I butchered them this morning. Well, I kind of butchered them. Left a little bit of meat on the bone, but I saved the bones as always for stock. So this is the 4th move with this before we bring it over to the hot side of the grill. And I can feel it that it's already firming up. Not too much longer on this. Yeah, these are almost done. I bet you if I stuck the, oh yeah, yep, okay. I think it's time for us to move into the grill and get to this side of the grill to get them a little bit of a few marks. Hear this sizzle? Because it's just so much hotter over here. And all I'm doing here is marking them up. They don't really need a lot more cooking here, so I got to be really careful not to overdo it. All right, so this has only been a minute because I don't want to overcook these things. That's my promise to you. So look at that, we already got a grill mark. A little bit more. I'm gonna give them like 1 more minute. These probably are done, but I want to just get the grill marks on them. So I think these are done. Again, they were a little bit less meat than I like, so usually I get a better opportunity to get some better char marks, but there's some good char marks on it. Don't want to leave them on the grill much longer because I promised you some juicy, juicy chicken breasts. Skinless, boneless chicken breasts. Look at that. Oh, just salivating. And it's not even 11 o'clock. It's always good to have cooked chicken in the fridge though, don't you think? Okay. We close this, shut off the grill one last time. All right, I'm gonna put this over here. I'm gonna take these over here. Now, unlike steak or beef or lamb, you don't have to let chicken rest. It's not going to lose its juices, but if you grow a steak, you cook a steak, you got to let it rest for about 5 minutes to let the juices get back into the meat. You've all seen it when you cook a nice steak and then you cut it open and all the stuff just runs all over the place. Don't do that. Don't do that. Now, by the way, knife safety, the sharper the knife, the better. Sounds kind of counterintuitive, but it's so true. You just have to have a really good sharp knife. So, when you serve these, I got the plate ready to go. When you serve these, what you want to do is you don't serve everybody a whole piece. You want to cut it on a little bit on the bias, just like that. Look at that. Perfectly cooked. See? And look how juicy that is. See the juice coming out? I am just happy, as they say. I'm going to put this over here like this for the first piece. Same thing, cut it on the bias. Even the bees, even the hornets are enjoying the cooking. And the biggest piece that I have, the yellow jackets, the biggest piece that I have is probably the juiciest. Look at that. Yeah, I know you're there. I'm not allergic to sting, so I don't worry about it. I'll do one more so we can have 3 on the plate. Make it nice and perfect. One more cut. Okay. Now I'm going to swap these out because when you make the marinade, you make an additional sauce with almost the same ingredients. And it's got some basil in it that I harvested from the garden. And some mustard, Dijon mustard. And this stuff, usually you emulsify it a little bit more, but this will do. Just kind of spoon it over. A little bit of green stuff. Same thing. So a little bit. A little bit of Dijon mustard sauce. Perfetto. So, here's my summer meal. Tomatoes from my garden for bruschetta. Freshly picked yellow beans, which I just harvested today. Probably just boil them up in water. A little bit of salt and pepper. My mother grew up with them as a child. We grew up with them. My family loves them, especially if you grow them in your own garden. And lemon, garlic, parsley chicken. Super juicy. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you try it. My name is Archbishop Coyne. God bless.